Hello there, my name is Joe Cargal. The thing I was wondering is why do they call it Alcoholics Anonymous if the first thing you do is stand up and identify yourself by first and last name? So the name of this video is Sights and Optics. What are they, what's the difference, and why are they important? Okay, so the first thing that we have, pretty much all weapons were, firearms anyways, were designed to be used with iron sights. And iron sights is very simply a rear sight aperture and a front sight post that you line up in order to place your shots where they want to go. There is the traditional notch and post. Three dot. And then what I rock on my handgun are the XS big dots, which I really like. All you do is put the golf ball on the tee, and the bullet lands where the golf ball is. Pretty awesome. Now, the great advantage of iron sights is that you keep a full peripheral of everything that's going on around you, which is important. The thing that sucks about them is you have two things to line up. So that's very difficult sometimes, especially heat of battle, especially when you've got other things that you have to deal with. So, moving into the more technologically advanced world, from iron sights, the next optic to use for sight alignment and picture on your firearm are what's called red dots. Now, they look basically like a scope, okay, but when you look inside, you can see why they call it the red dot. Now, what's cool is that this is a laser holographic projection. So what that means is the further away your eye is, the bigger that dot is inside of the scope. It's actually the exact same size. And as I bring it closer, that red dot takes up less of the scope. The red dot actually did not change size. It's 1 MOA, which is 1 minute of angle. But the further away your eye is, the bigger that dot is. What does that also mean? Because it's a laser holographic projection, is that it doesn't move off target. What do I mean by that? It means that and here I'll demonstrate this way, as you are holding whatever weapon you are and you're lined up, if you move your head, the red dot stays on the target. And even though the target's following your head as you move left and right, the red dot stays on the target, follows your head left to right. And what that looks like, so like right behind me, we'll put that dot right on that E. And you see how the E is now on the right side of the scope, but the dot hasn't moved off of it. All I'm moving is your perspective. And my hand is moving, so that's why the red dot moves. You know, it's not in a vice or whatever. But that's what I want to show you, is that as your point of view of the target changes, the red dot stays on target. Again, this is me moving it. But what you can see is that as that E goes from the left side to the right side of the scope, because your perspective changes, the red dot stays on the E, which is cool. So it's easier to line up because there's only one thing you have to line up, and you still have your full peripheral view. But one major disadvantage of the red dot is that it runs on batteries. Now, from the red dots, we moved into scopes, and what scopes are, magnifying optic devices. So obviously the great advantage of the scope is that you can see things that are way far away, that you absolutely could not see with your own naked eye. The disadvantage of the scope is that it absolutely eats up all of your peripheral view. So whatever you're looking at is all you can see. Most scopes typically have crosshair. Pretty cool, huh? That's not what's behind me. The dryer and the outlet, that's actually in the room I'm looking at, which is in front of me, but you're looking at the reflection of that. So now you can see the difference in magnification. And that's the lowest setting for this scope, which is a 3:9 by NC Star. This red dot made by True Glow. And these sights here that I have installed on my M&P are the Big Dot by XS. So those are the advantages and disadvantages. What do you need? Well, that depends on what you're trying to do. There is no optic sighting option that is good for all three. If it's good at one, it's generally terrible for the other two. So close range, medium range, and long range. So red dot is great for close to medium range. It is not great for stuff far out. Even if you put like a magnifier on it, which they do make magnifiers for red dots, that dot takes up so much of that peripheral that it's like it's the equivalent of having a gigantic 4-foot round dot at 600 yards out. That's not good for long range stuff. That's why you need the crosshairs. The close-up stuff, obviously a scope sucks for that. And there is no option out there, can't be, that is good for all three. It just doesn't exist. So, thank you for your consideration, your time, and those are the differences between iron sights, red dots, and scopes.